Right, friends. Hello again. Just give this a few seconds. I'll just introduce myself to make sure the video is running. Stephen Manning from Integrity Ireland, Truth Matters, and S.O.S. S.O.S. refers to one of our previous books that we compiled, the first book in the series, Save Our State, Save Our Souls. It also refers now to our best attempts to have a session every Sunday, Stephen on Sunday, whatever. Anything that helps people listen and pay attention, guys, right? The heading today is Judge Hunting Part 3, How They Evade Accountability. And as we do this short presentation today, again, I'm trying to master the software. My apologies, guys, if there are a few little glitches, but we'll just do our best. First of all, I want to draw everybody's attention to the Burke case. This is now Amy Burke. She's one of the Burke family, becoming more and more well known in Ireland for their principled stand against unlawful and amoral activities being conducted by the establishment. That's my sort of opinion on it. I've said in previous videos that this will be a very interesting battle with the various members of this Burke family. They're a Christian family. They operate on the premise that their obligation and duty is to God, first and foremost, and then secondly, to the state and whatever laws that it may try and impose on them. If there's a conflict between the two, they are going to choose the side of God. Personally, I would be in a very similar position for what it's worth. But of course, most of us are forced into circumstances where the ever-present state and the ever more tyrannical arms and agencies of the state are imposing more and more of these nefarious, amoral, and unconstitutional laws on us. And if we dare not comply, or if we object, of course, we run the risk of suffering the consequences. So the main reason I'm pointing this out, guys, if you look on the Integrity Ireland Facebook page, we're now also putting some of these videos up on Rumble because we've been so heavily censored. Frankly, it's becoming a bit ridiculous on some of the, let's call them the traditional social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook in particular, where, it doesn't take much really. Any overtly challenging statements that go against the official narrative results in all sorts of, they call it shadow banning, don't they? You can't quite put your finger on it, but all of a sudden the numbers have dropped from tens and even hundreds of thousands all the way down to single digits that you could count on one hand. Sharing, people are claiming that they can't share sometimes, they can't comment. People who would have subscribed previously are not getting notifications, and so on and so forth. But anyway, guys, let's get straight onto the topic here. So what I'd like to do is just draw your attention. We've already done, we put up a video of the Burkes speaking in front of the courts and describing frankly, the outrageous and appallingly unlawful behavior going against court rules, going against the judge's code of conduct and the oath of office. I won't go into the detail because it's sitting up there, but it was one Judge, Margaret Bolger, who basically turned around to the Burkes when they objected to all of her improper activity. Her response was, if you don't like it, take it to appeal. Now, why is this, for those of you that aren't very well schooled in the legal processes here in Ireland, I always thought when I first started using the courts and going into the courts, I thought as a judge, certainly if I was a judge, I would be ashamed and embarrassed if I were to give litigants the opportunity to challenge my decisions, because it appears that either I don't know what I'm doing or that I'm being deliberately, I'm deliberately breaking the law, violating the rules. 1 second, guys, just switch that off. Don't want that noise interrupting us. But in fact, we had one particular judge. His name escapes me at the moment, but the decisions he was making were being overturned on appeal. It was something approaching nearly 80% of his decisions. They were being appealed against because people were so outraged at what he was doing. And this was a very senior judge up in the High Court or the Court of Appeal. And I think it was the High Court. And it just doesn't seem to bother them. It's, who cares? They're getting paid at the end of the day. And of course, for every decision that is being appealed against, you can be sure that there's a lot of others that are just dropped. The litigants are frustrated, exhausted, disillusioned, and just frankly don't have the energy or the willpower or the money, which is often the case, to keep appealing against these irregular and often unlawful, and I even say criminal decisions by judges who know exactly, precisely what they're doing. And as I keep telling people and anybody who will listen, this is simply because the system is constructed in such a way. You can just see, sorry, over this shoulder here, you can just see a poster with the pyramid. I'll do this another day, guys. The structure, the hierarchical structure of most organizations around the world leans itself to coaching people into sociopathic behavior. Now, there's a whole presentation I do on this, guys, but please accept this for the moment. The way that the Irish courts are set up and the way that judges get appointed has an awful lot to do. And of course, there may be occasional exceptions to the rule, and there may be occasional days where even sociopathic judges do the right thing. But generally speaking, first of all, the legal profession is the second profession with the second most highest percentage of sociopaths and psychopaths in it, after the CEOs of international corporations. And given that it is the CEOs of international corporations who actually run the world at the moment, and we are all actually participants in this corporate structure, you start to understand how from the top tiers down, the primary objective is to protect the system. Okay, and we go in there thinking we're going to get justice, and we're not fully understanding this. No. We might get justice if our case is innocuous or doesn't challenge or threaten the state or any of the big players in it or their minions and toadies. But otherwise, no, they are going to protect the system. But anyway, this Margaret Bolger, relatively recently appointed High Court judge, her behavior was by any manner of means grossly unprofessional, shocking and appalling. And I would say anybody who is in the legal profession and reads what she did and what she said and the breaches and the violations of these principles of law that she engaged in order to silence this Amy Burke lady, who herself is a trained solicitor, it's just appalling. So you say, what do you do? Well, you will be known. Let's see now. I may have a picture of Margaret Bolger. Let's make her. Let's bring her. Yeah, now I'm going to do my best here now to share this, guys, and please bear with me. I'm going to share screen, and let's hope I can get the one that I want so that you can see it. There's a few of them here I've got to pick between. Just 1 second, guys. Yes, here she is here. Let's share this and see if it pops up. Yes. Right. Well, I did have her picture before. Let's see if we can get some images of her here popped up. You should be seeing this. Yes, this is her here, top left, guys. So just so that you know, guys, I keep telling people, you know, if you know that a judge has a history of committing criminal acts in their role as judge, or outrageously unlawful or violating the law and everything, you have every right to refuse to go in front of that person. One of the things that drives me nuts at the moment is all of these intelligent litigants who continue going in front of judges who they know have mistreated other litigants in the hope and expectation that their case will be different. Guys, we've got to stand together on this. And I'm telling you, if you make an objection, a formal objection to dealing with a judge, just watch them. They will melt in front of you. You know, now this woman, Bolger, was asked to recuse herself on very solid grounds by the Burkes. She refused to do so. Arrogant, hubristic, and, you know, just, they don't care, guys. She said, if you don't like it, take it to appeal. And as Amy Burke says, oh yeah, how many thousands more euros is that going to cost? How many months or years is that going to take? Meanwhile, the woman is out of a job. This is Miss Burke, you know, and it appears unfairly and unjustly. Somehow she found herself working for Arthur Cox Solicitors, the biggest law firm in Ireland, with all of the negatives that go along with that. Now, also involved in this case is another gentleman here. Let's see if I can find him for you guys. Who also gets a lambasting during the case process, and that is Mr. Peter Ward here. And let's just pull up his picture here for you guys so that we all get a good look at Mr. Peter Ward. If you find yourself entering a courtroom and this barrister, senior counsel, is there, I, for one, certainly if I found myself in the courts facing this man, knowing what he's done in the Burke case, would say, I'm not going to facilitate unlawful or criminal behavior. This guy has committed unlawful acts or unprofessional acts. I won't have any dealings with him. You'd be surprised, guys, how powerful that statement is. So I'm now just going to pop us back here. Let's see, get myself back on board. Yeah, I hope that worked okay, guys. I'm not just talking directly to the screen. So you say, so what do you do when these judges? Now, most of you who are following the story will be aware that at the end of June, I was ordered jailed for 3 months for something not only I didn't commit, but there was video evidence to prove that it hadn't happened. This again was the establishment resorting to criminal activity in order to silence people who actually are making, are shining a light of truth on them. Okay, so as you will all know, as I said before, I lodged a complaint in mid to late September with the Judicial Conduct Committee. Now, I'm going to share screen again, guys. Please bear with me. And all I want to do is just show you the proofs, guys, okay? This is just an email acknowledgement from the Judicial Council, as you can see it, basis on which complaint is made, right? All I want to do here, guys, is just show you, here we are, that's it. I don't want to give away too much detail. I just want to show you the acknowledgement that I made the complaint. Now, this was, I'm saying around 6 weeks ago now, guys. There hasn't been a single response since from them, okay? Now, part of the reason for this is because the Judicial Council the Judicial Council actually is in effect all of the judges who sit in Ireland. The Judicial Conduct Committee was set up after 25 years of waiting in order to deal with complaints about rogue judges, okay? Unfortunately, literally, they have made the process so onerous that the chances even of getting your complaint across the line, what's his name? O'Neill, Kevin O'Neill. Kevin O'Neill is the guy that they appointed to administer the Judicial Conduct Committee. Who is Kevin O'Neill? Well, he was the previous head of the court service up in the Four Courts, or whatever his title would have been. They've got all these various different titles, principal, this officer, or whatever. He was notoriously, arrogant is the word. Arrogant, condescending, refused to comply with the Civil Service Code, would say things to us like, we'd say, well, who's this we're corresponding with? He'd say, you don't need to know, it's good enough that I know. And we'd be trying to make a complaint about someone who was obstructing us or causing us problems and trying to get our cases dealt with. Anyway, so he's a tool of the establishment, a product of the establishment, then gets rewarded by being put in charge of the Judicial Conduct Committee, a bureaucrat and an administrator. And I say this, it's not a compliment, guys, okay? And his job now is to field the incoming complaints. In the complaint that I made, I just want you all to know, I made it very clear what the body of the complaint was. I told them that I had affidavits from eyewitnesses, that I had proofs, I had audio recordings of court service staff lying to me about facts and details. The fact that the judge who threw me in jail absolutely, made a pig's ear of his role as a judge. Absolutely, just invented a charge on the spot that wasn't even on the charge sheet. You can't do this, guys. If any of us acted like this in our various professions, we'd be struck off immediately. We'd be thrown out. Well, what's left for us to do? You either appeal or you make a complaint to the Judicial Council. Well, here, guys, now I'm just going to show you the document, the Judicial Council document, the guidelines. So here we go again. I have to, 1 second, guys, just share the screen again. Share the screen, and here we go. Oh yeah, here we go. The Judicial Complaints Procedure. Here we go. Right. So this is the document, guys. If you want to look it up, go to their website. Okay. I'm just going to pick out one paragraph here, right? And as you can see, this thing is 16 pages long. 16 pages long, guys. Here's paragraph 19.1. You know, where before or during an investigation by a panel of inquiry, and getting even to the panel of inquiry is in itself is a major achievement. You know, the judge concerned informs the panel of inquiry that they consent to the issuing of a reprimand. So here you have a judge saying, oh my God, this is getting a bit hot under the collar. Too many people are hearing about this. How do I stop the process? Well, believe it or not, the judge, and here we go, judge can consent to a reprimand. Right now, the reprimand is the worst sanction that can happen to them. Previous to that, there's an advice and a recommendation that you go and sort of learn some more manners or go and read up on the law. An advisory, you know, oh, naughty boy, you shouldn't have done that, you know, or the worst thing that happened is a reprimand, okay? So if the judge consents, then the panel of inquiry may, if it considers it appropriate, having regard to the nature, gravity, and circumstances of the complaint and the need to safeguard the administration of justice, the panel of inquiry can adjourn the investigation of the complaint and submit a report to the Judicial Conduct Committee in relation to the complaint. In other words, they've built in to the structure of the complaints procedure, which we've been waiting for over 25 years, folks. Now, remember that. We were waiting over 25 years for the European Union was telling them they had to do it. International law was telling them they had to do it. They dragged it out. And then by the time we eventually get it, first of all, there are 13 people on the panel, you know, the panel of inquiry, on the Judicial Conduct Committee, the 5 presidents of the 5 courts, and then 5 lay people who are all handpicked, chosen members of the establishment, slotted in there to do as they're told. And then there's another handful of judges voted in, and we've already told people this before. There are people in there that are in our book, Criminality in the Irish Courts and the Absence of the Rule of Law. Again, oh, it doesn't look like, well, I can't see if this is still sharing or not, guys. I don't know if that popped up with you or not. I'll try it again, guys. Present. It said share screen, and I do hope I'm not messing this up. Share screen. We'll try again. Where is it? The complaints procedures. I'll do share again, but I didn't get. I don't get an icon telling me how to close it down. So I hope that, anyway, what I'll do is I'll just go back to the live stream, and yeah, if for some reason it doesn't appear to be sharing, I hope I can see myself here on the screen. What I'll do is I'll shut that down. If anyway, it's right there, guys. It's right there. Now, one of the reasons I'm bringing this up, guys, and let's come back here to myself. I hope you can all see me here, guys. The point I'm trying to make is that I told the Judicial Conduct Committee that I was also going to make a complaint to the European Court of Human Rights. Now, here we go again, guys. I'm going to crash through just a few slides here. The next few minutes, we're going to try share screen again, and I'm going to show you what we have done. Right, share screen. Here we go. Let's pull up. Right then. So here we go. Application form and sorry, in Microsoft Word entire screen. Should I do? Well, let's see if this comes up. Share. Right, it is. So there we are, guys. Now I'm going to put a challenge out. You can all see this. You can all see this screen here, guys. I'm putting a challenge out to anyone out there who can actually download the application form in English and send it to me, please. Please. I've been trying for 2 weeks from a location abroad. I've used 3 different computers. It says when you try to click the document, I'm going to do this now right in front of you guys so you can see what happens. Click to the document. You can see it there, guys, over on the right-hand side. Open the file. Watch what happens. Please wait. Now, I can assure you guys this is not going to change. It says there it's an Adobe Acrobat problem and you need to download this. Now, I don't want to say something outrageous here and ridiculous and say that the European Court of Human Rights has heard that I, you know, little old me, Stephen Manning of Integrity Ireland, is trying to lodge another complaint, because I told the Judicial Conduct Committee I've exhausted all the domestic remedies several times over now. There's no point going back to the Irish justice system for any sort of procedural authenticity or integrity. They will block, obstruct, disappear documents. They will shut you down. They'll tell security not to let you in. They'll put you in jail. You know, it's absolutely ridiculous, guys. That document will not change. Okay. As you can see now, I see that I'm going to have to stop sharing. I have to do different pages every time I do this, but just so that you know that it is not me that hasn't done what I'm supposed to do. Share screen. Here we go. Share again. I'm just going to show you here that I have, in fact, downloaded the Adobe Acrobat and installed it. Okay. Here it is. Yep. Share again. And here we go. Thank you for downloading it. So, all right, there we are, guys. I did download it. I shared. Sorry, I've done everything I'm supposed to do, but the outcome is that I cannot get that form. So I've even tried to download it in Chinese or something and translate it, you know, Google Translate, but it doesn't work because it's a PDF. So there's the challenge to anyone. Again, the European Court of Human Rights, and I'll just finish off with this, guys, because I want you all to understand this. The whole system is geared up to protect the system, okay? I've been through this before. The last time we had blockers at the European Court of Human Rights colluded with the Irish Court Service to make sure that one of the documents I needed was not going to be available to me. And on that basis, they can shut down and throw out your application. And just to finish, we'll just have one more look, guys, here at the actual criteria for the European Court of Human Rights. Here we go. Your application. Here we go. Yeah, just again, and we're just going to share this one, guys. And this is a document, and I think I can do this with my finger. You see, your application to the European Court of Human Rights, how to apply and how your application is processed. Now, I'll make this a little bit bigger for you, right? I want you to see this at the top here. The great majority of applications lodged with the court are declared inadmissible. You might ask yourself why. Well, of course, they have to have rules and regulations, you know, to function efficiently. But at the moment, further down the document, it explains to you that they have been getting an average of 500,000 complaints. This is in the European Union alone, about judicial impropriety at best, you know, over on an annual basis. And it says down there, look, you know, not only are we getting 500,000 of these applications in a year, but there are multiple times that amount sitting, waiting to be processed. Multiple times that amount, well, that means at least 1.5 million, and who knows how many more millions are sitting, waiting to be processed. No wonder they make the process so arduous and so onerous and so difficult that they can find any number. And here we go in the bold lettering here, guys. If your application is incomplete, there is a risk that the court will not examine it. So it is essential that you meticulously fill in every part of the application form. Well, listen now again, guys. If a single part of the form has not been properly filled in, or information is missing, or you have failed to include copies of the requisite documents, the court may refuse to register your application without examining it. And I'll tell you this, guys, too, they will then destroy all of the documents they've sent to you, and you have no right to even ask them why they have done so. I'm telling you guys, this is how it works. All right. Now, again, to come back. Oh, sorry, I need to stop sharing, don't I? 1 second, guys. I have to stop sharing. I have to go back to that document now. And hold on. Where is it? Where is it? Your application to the, no, where's it gone? Sorry, guys, I'll keep talking because I don't want to have to edit this out at the end. But let's see, is this it? No, here we are. So now the document has disappeared. I'm so sorry, guys. Here it is, your application. Right, well, maybe it has stopped sharing. I'll come back here and hope that this has worked. I'll have a look at it before I put it up. So there we have it, guys. I'm going to wrap up now in a minute. Again, I'm just making the point as far as the Irish courts are concerned. Again, a little promotion of the book, guys, Criminality in the Irish Courts and the Absence of the Rule of Law. This names and shames 40 judges in the courts, plus another 60 office holders and officials who have committed definitive crimes. I don't think there's any way to pussyfoot around this issue, guys. I have been criticized for, quote, getting in the faces of these officials and office holders. Guys, I don't understand the hesitation here, other than, excuse my my judgmentalism here, but other than cowardice. Okay, if you get on a bus and the bus driver abuses you and doesn't go to the right destination, will you get on that bus again? Would you? Would you say to somebody that you're a fool, an idiot, and a masochist if you do get back on that bus again, knowing that he's going to abuse you and go in the wrong direction? Yeah. Would you go into a restaurant if previously you'd gotten sick and you were overcharged, triple charged, and then beaten up by the security on the way out? Would you bother going back to a restaurant like that? So why do we keep going back in front of people who have repeatedly demonstrated, and it's documented, guys? There's no excuse. It's documented. It's all in there. Their names, their ranks, their photographs, the crimes they've committed. And this is we only did 100, guys, because any more than that would have been too onerous. The book would have been too big, to be able to afford to buy it. Okay. We've also got this book, Indictment, and a petition for a public inquiry into state-sponsored criminality in the courts. This costs about €8, I think, online, guys, to buy. DIY Justice in Ireland, how to prosecute in your own name. At least embarrass, name, shame, and hold these people to account. And it costs nothing, guys. The process is free. It's one piece of paper and some courage is all you need. And you go in and you take these people on and take them to account. The reason they keep doing what they're doing to us is because you and I and everyone else like us still has so-called faith in the system. Now, I know a lot of people are trapped. It happened to me. That's how they got threw me into jail. They basically threatened me that if I didn't turn up in court, they'd issue a bench warrant for my arrest, right or wrong or indifferent that it was. And what happens when a bench warrant is issued? The minute I get lifted, my special needs son would be vulnerable to the attentions of the so-called Child Protection Agency here in Ireland, TUSLA, who has got a reputation now, I would say, rightfully deserved, of being in the business of destroying families, and with the emphasis there on business. And again, with respect to all of the decent social workers, just the same as with the guards, with respect to all the decent guards. And there's another institution where the morale is rock bottom. I was talking only today to a friendly guard that I know, and sympathized and empathized with the fact that she was stuck in a job because she had to pay her mortgage and feed the kids. But she no longer had any appetite for what the guards are being asked to do on behalf of the globalists. It is not the people, guys. They are not serving the people anymore. They're serving corrupt seniors and officials and office holders and politicians who answer to the diabolical globalists. All right. And we should not forget that. All right, my friends. Relatively straightforward one tonight, shortish by my standards. I hope, again, if people want to help and support us, the book there, sorry, I can never get this right. The book there, Crisis, Cull or Coup, What, How and Who, Facts and Truths to Make You Think. Apart from it being a clarification of the pandemic as we've known it that occurred, it uses the pandemic to explain the nature of human evil, how it has become institutionalized and corporatized, and how we are all, in one way or another, unless we've been fortunate enough to have to own our own, a remote island and live in a treehouse on it, and other than that, we are all subscribing to a thoroughly evil and wicked system, the consequences of which we see all around us today. And as more and more people wake up, guys, it's not all depressing. The good news here, guys, is as more and more of us speak the truth, share our truth, and not just, and by our truth, I'm not saying share my truth, share our truth. Some people are more aware than others. But this is not about waiting for the creation of another organization or the election of another president or Taoiseach or prime minister or, the arrival even of some great and wise, noble leader to save us all from evil. It's actually a personal responsibility and a duty, guys. And it begins with becoming aware, all right? Becoming aware of the great lie. This that we just showed you tonight is part of it. You have systems being put in place masquerading as justice, when in effect their job is to protect the diabolicals and the system that they inhabit. All right, I'll leave it at that for now, guys. Luckily for all of you, I have to attend an appointment, so I'm on a schedule, but I'll be doing another couple of these now, hopefully during the week. The next one is about medical issues that we're all aware of, and how certain media platforms that, again, present themselves as authentic and honest and as bastions of integrity and courageous reporting are, in fact, the diabolicals themselves. All right. Thanks, guys. God bless. I hope this came out well, and we will talk to you again soon.